figure it out.
Alright.
Is it recording?
Yeah. One isn't.
Alright. I cut it because I wanted to see the crumb. It's a little
Right.
dense because this is a honey oat and cranberry cherry loaf.
This sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll figure out, and then you can adjust your
I
width.
have no idea.
Use this. Well, we got to give it its maiden voyage one way or another.
I thought of a name for it. Could be Crumbelina.
Crumbelina.
Is this right? Am I doing this right?
I think so.
Oh, I'm afraid of it. Oh!
This counter moves too.
Oh,
makes it
yeah.
hard.
Oh! She broke a little. That's okay. She's got a thick crumb.
Is it going through pretty easy?
Pretty easy, yeah. She's just, where it had a lot of stuff in it, I had to bake her for a long time.
Right.
So she got kind of crispy.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so she's kind of a dense
Kind of
loaf.
dense.
Yeah, but I haven't tried it yet. Well, I tried a little bit of it.
I don't know if a smaller width would be any easier. It might be harder.
That was easy though.
Yeah.
I'll try
Easier. Well, I guess on the smaller loaf you could use a knife, but if you wanted uniform slices.
That's pretty good. Did I say cranberry cherry loaf?
I think so.
Okay, that's what that is. Yeah.
That tastes good.
Mm-hmm. It's actually really good.
Hi guys, I'm getting ready to make some bread this morning. Previously in my video, you saw my daughter-in-law trying out that new bread slicer on sourdough bread, but I'm curious if it will work as well on just a regular loaf bread. She makes sourdough bread, I make the loaf type breads. And the videos that I've looked up with that particular bread slicer, it always shows the sourdough. So I'm hoping that it will work just as well on my loaf bread. So I'm going to fix a multi-grain bread. Now this is very, very similar. I'm not going to say it's exact because that just gives room for argument with some people. But it is very, very similar to the Nature, I think it's Nature's Valley, Nature's Own, I can't remember the brand. Their multi-grain bread. I'll put a picture of their bread up here. So I'm going to bake a loaf of that today and try out that bread slicer with it. Now, I already have some water heated over here in my kettle, and for this recipe it's called like a grain cereal. I get this on Amazon. I'll link it below. I think this particular one is 9 grain. It's either 5 or 9 grain, but I'll have it linked below. First thing I'm going to need to do though is to measure out some of this grain and pour the hot water in over top of that and allow that to soak for a good 15 to 20 minutes. So since I've already got my water heated up, I'm going to go ahead and get this grain into my mixing bowl. That's just shy of half a cup. It'll be plenty. I could have measured right up to it, but I know it would have went all over the counter. So I'm just going to put this in my bowl. And I've got 1 3/4 cup of hot water in my kettle. I'm just going to pour that over that cereal mix. And I'm going to allow that to set for a while, because the reason why it needs to set for a while is that grain needs to soften up so it won't be like little hard kernels in the bread once it's baked. So I'm just going to let that set, allow that water to cool down, and when it's ready to proceed with making my bread, I'll be back. Alright, I'm ready to move on with getting this bread made. I allowed my oven to get just a little bit warm by putting the oven on the lowest temperature, and as soon as I hit start, I start the countdown to about like a minute, and then I turn everything off except for the oven light, and that's the perfect temperature to let my dough rise. I've got me a bowl sprayed over here with some oil So when my dough's ready to transfer over, it's ready to go. So next I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of softened butter. And I'm going to add I think it's about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of salt. And now I'm going to add some sugar. I'll add my sugar next. Let me see how much my recipe called for. 3 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to add about 3½ cups of all-purpose flour. If you have bread flour, feel free to use that if you do this recipe. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to start out with just 3, and I'm going to allow this to come together a little bit, and then I'm going to add a little bit more flour. So I might use another ½ cup of flour, might use a little more, a little less, we'll see. But I don't want to put it all in there right now. I want to allow my dough to come together a little bit. And then I'm going to add a packet of yeast. I use Rapid Rise. I buy it in bulk, so I'm going to use about 2¼ teaspoons of it. And I'm just going to allow this to knead for probably around 6 or 8 minutes till the dough comes together. And if I see that I need to add more flour, I'll add a little bit more flour. Alright, my dough's ready to go, y'all. I'm going to put it over into a greased bowl. I'm going to turn my dough after I get it in that bowl to coat it on all sides, cover it with saran wrap, and then I'm just going to place it in my warm oven for, it probably won't even take an hour, just until it's doubled in size. Do it with my hand. Okay, in the oven she goes. Okay, my dough has doubled very nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flour my surface a little bit, just slightly. Put my dough out onto that, pat this out, roll it, shape it, and get it ready to put in my pan. First, I'm going to spray my little loaf pan so it'll be ready. There we go. They're giving out some pretty bad storms for us. I'm hoping that we don't get it too bad. I'm going to punch down my dough. Just going to lightly flour that top. Sometimes I don't need to, but it felt just slightly sticky. So to make it easier to manage. So I'm just going to pat out this dough. Try to kind of get into a rectangular shape. And I'm just going to start rolling this dough. I'll start from the bottom. I'll roll up and mash down to get that air out. And I'll just continue to do that till I get to the end of my dough. And then I'm going to bring it around and I'm going to mash that seam together. And then I'm going to place my loaf pan here so I get an idea of how wide or how long this bread needs to be, or this dough. And I'm just going to finish trying to shape that, and then I'm just going to flip it around and place it right down in that loaf pan. Okay, I'm going to take my saran wrap that I had and I'm going to cover the dough once more, and I'm going to allow this to rise until about doubled in size again, maybe just slightly less, and then we'll be ready to bake our bread. I'm going to lightly spray my saran wrap just in case that dough rises up and touches the saran wrap, it won't stick. Okay, so I'm just going to place this over there and allow it to rise. And I'll be back in a moment. Okay, you all, my dough has already doubled. Once it reached the top of the pan, like the rim, I went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. What I'm going to do now is remove the saran wrap, place this in the oven, and allow it to bake for about 40 minutes. And I'll be back once it's done. Okay, y'all, my bread has cooled. So I'm going to try to slice this up. I hope it works nicely. Okay. Oh, it's going through like butter. I'm impressed. I'm very, very happy with this. I thought, oh, it'd probably cut through that sourdough and, look easy. But what about this softer bread? And it goes right through it, you all. So if you've been on the fence like I have been, go ahead and get you one. Now I found mine on a Walmart website a little bit cheaper than the other places I've been seeing it. So check them out. Beautiful. Let's get a little bit of butter. Yeah, I've got food cooking over here on the stove. Let me check it, and I might be able to fix me up a plate. No, my potatoes aren't soft yet, but I'll go ahead and try me by this bread. I know it's good. Tastes so good. You cannot beat homemade bread. So I'm going to go ahead, slice the rest of this up, get it in a bread bag. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.